Well, hey, Gundam Maniacs, welcome to another episode of Gundam Explained. This one is a little different. It's just this thing that happens, right? When you're online and then there's like this reality that everyone just kind of in unison agrees to. And sometimes I'm like, I don't really get it now that I'm getting into Gundam. One of those things being, oh, it's a P-Bandai. And I never really got that, so we're going to jump into it. But before we get started, if you haven't, please subscribe. If you think this is a cool video, give it a like. Check links in the description for ways you get to support the channel. Or join the Discord. We have a lot of fun there. We got a group doing GBO2, and that's a lot of fun. But let's get going. All right, so P-Bandai. Basically, Bandai has a website that they just call Premium Bandai. It could be called Sloppy Joe's House of Fun. It's just called Premium Bandai. That really means nothing. The premium doesn't necessarily mean anything in particular. Premium Bandai is just a way for Bandai to sell directly to the consumer. They don't have to go through distribution. If you remember recently, Bandai, about a year ago, they came out with something about how they don't want to be selling P-Bandai to distributors anymore, or they want to stop distributors from getting the P-Bandai, because what happens is they'll get all the Gunpla from P-Bandai, sell it at a higher price. So now it might allow more people to get their hands on P-Bandai, but it's at a higher price, and those that were trying to get it legitimately miss out. Not that it's not legitimate through resellers, because that was just a way to get it into more hands, but it caused a lot of scalping to occur, and P-Bandai was thinking of a way to kind of curb that. But P-Bandai is no different than a Hasbro Pulse, another way you can get memorabilia, action figures, collectibles from certain IPs like Star Wars. Hasbro Pulse will have a Hasbro Pulse item that you can only buy it there, and sometimes it will sell out. A lot of this has to do with nowadays it is a lot more expensive to create collectibles, and if you're putting distribution on top of that, there is even more money to get something out there. At the same time, if you're using distribution, a distributor is going to want a certain amount that they're going to buy, and if you have something that you don't think is going to sell a lot, that means you're going to make limited quantities. So it is, for something to exist in the first place, for it to have a place like P-Bandai or Hasbro Pulse to exist for sale, is better than it not existing at all. You know, right now you can go on P-Bandai to even look at what things they have available. I'm just going to look at this 1/100 Cublé. We could see pre-orders opened May 31st. They close October 3rd. So if there's something P-Bandai you want, you kind of have time. This isn't one where it's until it sells out, which is pretty cool. The GM Spartan, this is one where as soon as it came out as a P-Bandai, it sold out within minutes. So they did another run. It sold out within minutes. So they did another run. And guess what? Pre-orders close October 3rd. They realized the demand. They realized and calculated, okay, we can spend this amount of money to manufacture this kit and have it for sale. They know that they're going to make money on this, so they're going to have it widely available. Remember the Neo Zeong 2, I believe it was, from Narrative? That one was up, sold out immediately, up again, sold out immediately, and that was it. Well, I mean, that's an expensive kit, $300. And from what I understand, for Bandai, some of their molding, some of their tooling is expensive to produce in the first place, to then produce these kits. So it would be hard for them to make a large quantity of these Neo Zeongs and then overestimate and not get all the sales they need, and that's going to hurt them, especially in the way the economy is right now. And, you know, there was this Reddit post I thought was pretty good, and they even said there's a lot of misinformation in this thread. Now, this thread is really about when Bandai first said they want to stop having the P-Bandai for sale to distributors. It is because these distributors would grab all the stock that a consumer would be able to buy directly, and then now it's being sold at a higher price. Bandai wants to be able to have this ability for the consumer to go directly to them, buy the kit they want. It's not realistic to move any production to the US due to how molds work. There's only one. They're very expensive, and they're unique and hand finished. So there's already this barrier here of why it's expensive to produce these in the first place. Bandai isn't ignoring the West. We literally have their corporate reports proving otherwise. You should question the knowledge of any individual arguing that they are ignoring the US market. What set me off was a video that Zaku Aurelius was in, and I forgot if this was a USA Gundam video or his. He was just talking about master grades in general. But in the comments, I immediately saw people like, oh, and P-Bandai this, P-Bandai that. And I'm like, why? This is good. We want to support P-Bandai. If we're constantly going direct to Bandai to buying our Gunpla, they're going to see the audience get bigger and bigger and bigger, wanting to get more GM Spartans or more runs of the Neo Zeong like we saw. And they're going to continue to do that, and we're going to get what we want. So just like this guy is saying, question the knowledge of any individual arguing it, because if a random person's arguing about something online, I'm going to have to take it with a grain of salt until I do my own research. And the research I've done has told me P-Bandai is a way to get more kits to people where they're not overproducing, ruining a run of something then they won't create anymore. And now I know that kind of stinks for people that maybe get into the Gunpla game late or see a kit that they wanted that, you know, they can't get anymore. I'm that, and I have been able to get some kits, a lot of them being like the Pale Riders, Advanced of Zeta. I've actually been able to find them at scalper prices, you know, or prices of resellers that got them P-Bandai, and they are higher prices, but I've been able to get them. So it's not like it can't happen. If you really want to hunt down and find a kit, it might be a little pricey, but Bandai's hands are tied. And it reminds me of, you know, with Hasbro Pulse, how they do like their own thing, like a Kickstarter. You know, they have the Mandalorian ship. They had Jabba's sail barge. What they do is they try to see interest. You pay, and they have to be able to get a certain amount of money from that, because then that can pay for distribution on top of getting a profit, so they can continue something like this. And that's exactly what we're seeing with P-Bandai. So it's positive. Buy from them. If you want something, you can go on there and get it right now. And if it just happens to sell out, more than likely they're going to have it back up. There really is no other choice here. Anyway, guys, hope you found that to be interesting. And this is what I've gathered from my research. So if I'm wrong in any way, please just let me know. I can correct in another video. But I'm just trying to put more positivity out there for P-Bandai. When something gets released at P-Bandai, that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. That means that they are doing whatever they can, even if the margins are slim, to get a unique kit out there that they know wouldn't sell anyway. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. We'll talk later.